to Insights at Real Bank Media Studios. I'm Patrick Custer hosting this episode, and I'm here with the Green Hills YMCA Leaders Club. So excited to talk to you guys today. Welcome to all of us, really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us so much.
Let's go around the down the line and introduce who everybody is.
Sure. My name is Kate, and I'm a fourth year in Leaders Club.
My name is Hazel. I'm a first year.
My name is Rowan. I'm a second year.
My name is Frankie, and I'm also a second year.
I'm Thomas. I'm a third year.
Awesome. I'm interested to know what brought you back. If those of you who've been more than 1 year, right? What made you decide to stay? What brought you in, and then why did you decide to keep coming to Leaders Club?
I guess it was everything that you learn, the stuff that you gain, and that you can apply outside of the club. So I take all of it, and I can use it in my job. I can use it at school. And I also get a great community, and I've made more friends here than I've ever made anywhere else. So yeah.
Well, I first came here because we're sisters, and she's been doing it for years, so I just decided to join with her. And you come back because, like, the group is so fun to be around. You just learn so many things.
I want to expound on what you just said for a second. You said and you kind of said it too, talking about connection, and the feeling you get around the people in the group and the fun that you've had. It sounds like it's a unique experience. How would you say that it differs from the other social groups that you are part of at school or in the rest of your life?
Well, you don't really see these people a lot, like, because with the school group, you see them all the time. With these people, I feel like it's just a closer bond because we do so many things that you can't do when you're in school or, like, at other events. So just being around them, it just feels different. Like, it's such a family.
Yeah.
You just get closer to these people. I don't know. It's hard to describe. Like, you're just closer to them than you would be anywhere else. I don't just yeah.
Do you think it's because you're doing more, like, I hate to say serious, but you're doing more like deeper activities that foster connection that might not be necessarily on the surface level stuff that you do elsewhere?
I'm sure it's because, like, we're always doing community service together, so maybe we, like, associate with each other with, like, helping people out, and we like helping people out together and helping our community grow. Yeah. We feed off of each other, I feel like.
I love that. Awesome. Okay, sorry for that side note, but I felt like that was a great question to ask there. We'll continue on. If you want to answer what brought you in and what keeps you coming back.
Mostly the same reasons. The friends we make and the connections, it makes you feel like you belong in that little group. And also a lot of the stuff we learned at Blue Ridge and in our club, it's stuff that I can put towards my work. So I like that.
Same here. My mom kind of made me start out. She works at the Y, so she's like, you should try this, It's like starting out new, And so being able to build the club, being able to include more people and just being able to help people has really made me want to keep coming back, and being able to build the club is really motivating. So that's one reason that I've returned. And also just the people that I meet at Blue Ridge and in the club has just been amazing.
The reason I started because my sisters did it, and also my mom's the advisor, and I just kind of started. And then the reason I come back is just the relationships with people here and in Blue Ridge.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, there's a common thread that I keep hearing about how you all got involved. Someone that you trust or whatnot has influenced you starting involvement. But from there, you kept going. I know because I was in I grew up in Leaders Club as well, and it transformed my life beyond words. I mean, we're trying to put it in words today, but and I love that I have the opportunity to come back, this many years later and support y'all and
Yeah.
talk about all the great things that are still happening. And I think one of the most important messages that we can do is that those of us who are aware of Leaders Club or who have been impacted personally by being part of it, that we help connect others that we know would benefit.
Yeah.
Because it's not necessarily something that you would see a poster for and be like, oh, that's great. Because it's not necessarily.
It's not like something teenagers would.
No,
It
I
sounds
mean, like if
boring to
it's
most.
like, it's not like you see a flyer for a free pizza party and we're going to play video games.
Yeah.
That is an easy win to get people to want to come to.
Yeah.
But when you try and wrap your arms around explaining all the things that Leaders Club is, it's difficult. It's easier to say, hey, come with me. I want to show you
Something. Yeah.
something, and I'll explain it what I can, but you're gonna understand more when you get there. But I would love to, the best we can, try to put into our own words what Leaders Club is to you.
Well, yeah. Leaders Club to me, you're right. It's so hard to explain because we do everything. Like, I don't know. Well, first, obviously, it's Leaders Club, and the goal is to grow your community. So involve more youth inside of the community, get teenagers outside of their house and outside of other things that they could be doing and helping their group out. It's kind of outreach, volunteering. We do lots of volunteering. Yeah. We just kind of, yeah, that's the best I can describe it, at least.
Yeah.
It is really hard to explain because when you try to get other youth involved, they're like, that's boring. Like you go and you volunteer, like.
Well, hold on. Let me pause for a second and take the pressure off just a little bit. There's not a perfect answer, and what I'm looking for is what it means to you. Like, and whatever it means to you, whatever words you put into it, that's the right answer. What it has, how it's changed your life, and what it has meant to you. So don't feel the pressure that you've got to give a perfect answer here, because the specialness of it is how it's transformed your life.
Well, I don't know. I feel like it just makes you feel like how it impacts my life. It just it helps you grow, and it really shows you like how important it is to be involved in your community and how it can like negatively and positively impact your community. So I feel like just knowing that you're doing something good for your community is really comforting in a way. And
So let me ask you, when you think about the good that you're doing, when you come together and you're doing service work and volunteering, I often talk about volunteering as like the action of living out gratitude, right? If we're grateful for the things we have, then we find ways to do acts of service to live that out through our actions. And that's one of the most beautiful things that I think the Leaders Club does and starts people off from a young age. And it equips us to be responsible adults, but not only that, to actually find enjoyment in life and live fulfilling lives. So through that lens, I would ask you as a follow-up, what do you think you would be doing instead of, like, if you weren't volunteering, if you weren't doing some of these other good things, if you think about like the antithesis of that, the opposite, what would that be?
what would what be?
The opposite. If you weren't getting involved in Leaders Club, and you were just thinking about like, okay, if you like, would you be home just hanging out watching TV, or
Honestly, I feel like I would because it just affects like how you look at things. You feel more grateful. It causes you to feel more thankful and you want to spend more time doing good things once you get exposed to that. So yeah, I feel like if I wasn't, I would be doing things just sitting around. I wouldn't be doing anything.
Yeah.
Does it make you feel very good?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
Yeah. So I love that sense of, you get a sense of like self-respect, and and just validity in who you are, and you want to do more. Like it's self-perpetuating. Very cool. What about you?
Honestly, the things we do, it's not as much as the volunteering and community involvement for me. It's as that I feel like I belong here with the group because all these people have become really close friends. Also, just spending 1 week at Blue Ridge every year, it feels like you make good bonds for a short amount of time. And along with like volunteering, it's honestly easier to go out and volunteer with people you have with you. Because if you don't know anyone, it can be sort of lonely, and it's just like you're putting yourself out of your comfort zone, and it's sad.
So I love that you talked about Blue Ridge, and we're going to flush that out in just a second when we go to our next round of questions. But something that you mentioned, and I love that you mentioned it, which is a huge part of Leaders Club that's so important, is the connection piece. I wonder if you could share a little bit more about why that's special to you. Do you feel like, how do you feel like the connection you experience in Leaders Club is different than other areas of life?
I guess just like the people you meet at school are you're sort of forced to be there together. It's like you don't have a choice of who you hang out with because you're sort of just put into a social group. And these people, they're all like came here for a specific reason. And you sort of have connections that are like similar, I guess.
Common interest.
Yeah, common interests and stuff. So just makes you,
That's great. Love that. Thank you for sharing that.
I want to add on to what she said about like the common interest part. It's like when you're like joining a community with like a sport or something, it can be like competitive. This is not competitive at all. We're all like working towards the same thing. And it's like we're not competing with anyone. So we're trying to like grow together instead of like,
Grow ourselves.
yeah.
Exclusive.
So I think that's a really important part. And that's also one of the reasons I go. And that's like kind of what it is for me, is like being able to learn from other people and then like learn from myself, and just like learning is a big part of it for me. And just like that's kind of what it is for me.
Well, and I'll say to that too, I think something that this has been said in so many different ways, but whether you realize it or not, something that's getting instilled in each of you by being part of Leaders Club in one way or another as time goes on is the tenets and the principles of being a good leader means that you first learn how to follow well. You learn how to be a good teammate and care just as much about those who are either coming behind or coming alongside you than your own self-interest. And when we do that, we are then equipped with the skill set necessary to lead and guide others. And I think that's one of the biggest things that for me, I look back on, one word that you could use to describe that is empathy. I think that we're all born with a sense of, empathy being that like, if you're experiencing pain, right? Like I experience it a little bit too, because I care about you. If you're suffering in any way, or if you're falling behind, it makes me sad. So therefore I want to help you out or remove whatever's blocking you. And I think that we all have an innate sense of empathy from the get-go, but if we don't nurture that in some way, shape, or form, self-serving takes precedent, takes the front seat. And so I think that's one of the biggest things that Leaders Club is all about, and it's so beautiful. And for me, that's like what the magic around what made connections so special and so different than the other pockets of society for me when I was your age.
It reminds me, like, at Blue Ridge, when it's your first year, everyone already has connections and relationships with everybody on the mountain. And so, at least for me, my first year, I didn't live in Tennessee, I was in Maryland. And I felt lost. Like everyone already ran off the bus and had gone and talked to friends that they knew before their first year. But someone approached me and they were like, "Hey, I remember my first year. you should come hang out with my group. And it made me feel welcome because everyone has been in the same position as you are. Everyone took the same classes as you on that mountain. So they know what you're learning. They know where you come from, and there's no judgment or harsh thoughts. And you kind of like, once you step off the bus, you're like, you're meant to be there regardless. It's nice.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's get your take on this.
What was the question again? Sorry.
We have rabbit trailed quite a bit, haven't we? Okay, so I think the original question that we're coming back to that for you is that we're still on what brought you to Leaders Club and what keeps you here?
Well, what brought me here was my mom started the club, and my sister also did before.
But what keeps you coming back?
Keeps me like the social aspect. It's like a social outlet for me. Like I just meet a lot of new people and I hang out with them here, like and in Blue Ridge.
Why is it important to you?
It's important to me. I don't know. I really go back to the social aspect. It's just like it's important because it's just fun. I like doing it.
Yeah. Well, and that's, I love that answer too, because I think that is another piece that is so important about Leaders Club is that there's a lot in our world right now that's dark.
Yeah.
Is going on. And it is so important as adults, but especially as developing young people, to learn how to find joy, peace, love, all those things, but especially joy, and to have fun and to not lose that ability. And what a great environment to be able to do that, because you're here with like what we talked about, like-minded people that are wanting to do good things. And, there's a sense of safety
It's a very
and structure.
safe place
Yeah.
for everybody to express themselves and
you're going to be supported.
authentic.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so a number of you have mentioned Blue Ridge, and like I get excited even hearing about it because I remember such fond memories. So I know we kind of all went down the line, said what Leaders Club is to them. One thing that and I'll provide just real quick a logistical explanation. But in most cases, there's leaders clubs that are that most of them happen at a YMCA around the country.
Yep.
Typically weekly meetings, and you're doing things from volunteering to development for skills, athletics. So around the core of the three legs of the YMCA: spirit, mind, and body.
Yep.
And so there is like the list could go on ad infinitum.
Yes.
Of all the things that you do. But the really cool thing is that it's every week, and you know that you've got that staple in your week, and you're going to get together and you're going to do something that benefits you and your fellows. And that happens throughout the year, but then you have this awesome thing that you get to look forward to in the summer, and that's Blue Ridge, which is in Black Mountain, North Carolina. This awesome, I don't even know how big it is. It's an old historic camp.
Yeah.
And camp isn't even doing it justice because there are these giant lodges that are there.
It's like a university.
Yeah, it's like
it's like
kind
a
of like a
boarding
university on the mountains. But the YMCA owns it, and it's, I don't know. Do y'all know how old Blue Ridge is? Anybody?
1906.
It was 1906.
Yeah,
it was established in
1906.
1906. Yes.
It's like 103.
Yes. So
quick math.
118 years?
100.
Is that right?
100 and
100 and something.
104.
no, it's more than 100.
Really?
Gotta be 100 more.
It's okay. It's well over 100
120
years.
years old,
Yeah, it's well 117.
117.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
I always people
do
put me on,
math.
people will be like, how many is that in year? I don't do math in time.
100 years old when it
It's
was
a
my
Leaders
first
Club,
year.
not a math club.
But yeah, I mean, it's really special. The Y hosts different things there throughout the year, but I think the
one of the
most
biggest
special
things.
thing that they host is the Leaders Club conference.
Yes.
And so let's just go around and kind of share whatever you want to share about that. from just the details to what you get out of it and what makes you excited?
Yeah. So Blue Ridge is a school. It's a week long. So kind of the things you have to do in order to get there is I think you have to get a certain amount of hours. For our club, it was 75 hours. We had to get 75 hours in order to get on the mountain.
75 hours of community service?
Yes, volunteer hours or community service. And then once you get on the mountain, you take 4 classes, and it's either you take classes in order to enrich and start to learn more about how to be a better leader. There's a midterm and a final, so what you learn in that class, you have to test on. And it is a school. So yeah, that's like kind of what it's about. That's what you learn there. So yeah, I think there's a couple classes, but yeah, that's it.
Well, adding on to what she said, it's like with the classes, you are there to learn about the YMCA and about the history and all that. So when you take your classes, you get tested, like she said, on the midterm and the final, and then the midterm's in the middle of the week, and then the finals on the last day of our classes. So we just you just take the classes and all that.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's a school, the classes, but I feel like you're stuck with the same amount of people throughout most of your classes.
Mhm.
And then at the
So
end,
the different classes you're doing, you're
Yeah.
rotating through with the same group?
It's
Yeah.
Okay.
different. It's different for first years and second years. Like first year we bunked together, and then we also had all of our classes together.
Okay.
But this year we had the same room, but then we were like in 2 different groups
we had
for
no
all our
classes together.
Uh-huh.
So we only saw each other like during our free time and stuff.
And the
But
curriculum develops every year you go. So your first year you take like basic leadership, and then
then you get sectioned off into your ages.
Yeah,
So
there's like some that it's like based on your year, and then there's some classes that are based on like
your age.
your age. And there's also like during the pandemic, I think there was some classes that some leaders didn't do, so they were like they had to mix
they
ages.
got like held back sort of as
Yeah.
you would in school, I guess.
Cool.
So you're like when you get there, you like get your room and stuff, and sometimes it's like it's just you and one other person, or it's like 3 people. I don't know what it is for you guys, but I think is it like 2 people per
Yeah, it's
room?
like 2 or 3. I had 3 people in my room this year.
Yeah, I was
Well-
talking to one of the like a former honor leader. Honor leaders, I guess is it of 8 people?
Yeah, it's 8 people
Yeah.
most of the time.
But they showed like exemplary leadership skills, and so that's what an honor leader is for context. But I was talking to a former honor leader, and she said that they used to put like 7 to 8 people in a room. That was when it was just one session, because there's a June session and a July session. So then they split it. But she said that was it was not pleasant having that many people in a room. But and then you're put into counseling groups, like so you have a counselor, and that's where you get to like form your bonds with like new people.
Mhm.
It's because like every night you all like sit around and you reflect on your day and you talk and stuff. So that's one important part for me at Blue Ridge, is just being able to form those bonds with people.
Actually, our counselor from this past year is going to be the new honor leader for the
Next year.
June session next year. So
Cool.
really proud of her for that. So
It's just basically you go there and you take classes to help you become a better like leader or person in the society. I know it sounds boring with classes, but it's a lot more than just the classes.
Yeah. So now that you said that, I'm going to ask you, what is it that's more than just the classes?
It's like what you take from the classes and like the people you meet up there.
Mm-hmm.
Another social aspect, but it's just, yeah, what you take back. It's what you take back to your why. That's really important.
I feel like a lot to say about it is just the people, like you ask us to explain like all these things, and we're always like the friendships, the bonds,
Yeah,
all
Right.
that.
But
It's
I think that I can ask you a better guiding question there. So you talk about the people, the bonds, and what you take back. So, and anybody can answer this if you want to start, fine. Also, when you talk about what you take back, would you say that through those experiences you're referencing, you end up changing your motives behind why you do things, and your perspective, your perspective on how you look at the ways that you're making decisions for school, for your goals in life, for why and how you're helping people. Does that change?
Yes, I think it does. Cause this year, third year, we take working with series, which is like learning how other people's like brains work, and it really like showed me a different perspective on different people's lives.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't think they had that one when I was there, and I love that they've added it.
Mhm.
Is there a I'm gonna put you on the spot here, but is there like a specific example of someone's like different type of like brain or what a difference that you learned in that
Mhm.
class that turned a light bulb on for you?
Well, I remember we learned about dyslexia,
Mhm.
and it kind of showed us how like they saw words written out, and I thought that was like kind of like not weird, but like just different, you know,
Sure.
Perspective.
like a different and why it takes them a longer time to read.
Sure. Well, and it's one thing to know, we all grew up hearing about dyslexia and we know, well, you read things backwards, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay. But when you hear it like what you're talking about, you have more profound understanding.
It's
That
not the whole word that's backwards. It's like certain little parts of the word.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe helps you stretch your sense of empathy a little bit more
Mhm.
for somebody that you might run into that actually has it. Yeah. Um, so kind of going off the leg of what you said, I'm interested to know if y'all want to share on a class, whether it was your favorite class or, and I'm gonna say this first. I would like everybody to go and not repeat. Like if somebody said one class,
Oh.
pick a different one and give me an anecdote or an example of why that class changed you and it was impactful for you.
So I took a class this year and I was not excited for it, honestly, because it was about public speaking. It was called, I can't remember what the class was called. I'm so sorry. I'll remember it. But it was teaching you employment skills and public speaking. And I'm not a good public speaker. I get really nervous and like clammy. But they taught you like strategies on how to stay confident and how to walk around a room and assert yourself. And there's differences between men and women in public speaking and how taller people and men can better grab an audience. And if you're a woman, you have to kind of do different things. And it's also like there's a difference between being on a stage and being in a small group and how to use your hands. And I thought that was really cool. And I also taught people how to handshake and address a letter. And surprisingly, some people do not know how to do that. And I thought that was shocking because I don't know. It's just that class was really cool and it was taught by someone pretty awesome.
That's great.
I loved it. Yeah.
What's the question again?
So the question is, and see what class sticks out in your mind that was impactful for you? And can you give us like a story or anecdote of why it was special? Like how did it change you? And you can't pick one that somebody already said.
Okay, so my class was basic leadership. It's a class that every first year has to take, and it's basically just it's like you learn about like the backstory of the camp and like history of the YMCA and stuff like that. And that class really impacted me because it was led by the honor leaders of that year. Not all of them, but just like most of them. And the honor leaders were amazing. Like they were so fun to be around. They're so sweet. But you just learn about like the history of the Y and which is really important to know as like volunteering in the Y, you need to know
Yeah.
that. So that was really fun. And yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, mine's not a traditional class. We do a clinic. You get to choose a clinic every year. And this year,
Is it like electives at
yeah,
college?
it's sort of like
Yeah.
electives.
Okay.
It's like a fun activity.
It's just an activity that you want to do because you're sitting in like the classes you have to take all day, so it's something you want to choose. But I chose volleyball for mine this year, and it's what I did last year when I went. But it fills up really fast, so I didn't get put in it. I got put in something that I didn't even want to take, and I got put in flag football.
Oh no.
And
So
it was rough at first, but then I was like, a lot of people that were there didn't want to be there either,
Yeah.
and it ended up being really fun. And I
You're
got
also really good at it.
it turns out I'm really good
So
at
good.
it, so I really liked that. But if you want me to say like a normal class,
No, I think that's perfect.
okay.
And I have a reflection on that. So I think that something in both Leaders Club and going to Blue Ridge, we get the opportunity to do is learn from, and this is kind of an extreme saying the storms in life, but like when things don't go your way, what do? You can either sit and decide I'm going to be mad and upset, and then it robs you from the joy that you could get from the experience and whatever lesson that you could learn, or you could have the attitude that you did, which was, yeah, this isn't necessarily what I wanted to do, but I'm here, so I'm gonna have fun, and you put your all into it, and you ended up having a great time and learning that skill happens for us over and over in life. And if you're fortunate enough to become a leader in college, work, politics, whatever the case may be, you're going to come across situations where things don't go your way, where you end up in a situation where you're handed something that isn't the optimal of what you wanted. And so having that skill set of finding uh the lesson, finding the peace and finding the joy in what it is a huge gift. I mean, like that's really big.
yeah,
So
perseverance.
absolutely. Thank you for sharing that.
I guess my it was kind of a really chill class, but it was character development. So it's kind of your first year, it's like you're kind of new to it, so you're kind of like, I don't. It's basically like a big group therapy class. It was a little bit awkward with my first year because it was like there was a lot of very personal stuff that people said. It was like obviously what you say in that room stays in that room, but it was yeah, the the Reno rule. But it was just like this second year, I was kind of going into it expecting that, but it was like at the end of the day, everyone was really tired, so we kind of all just talked, and it was like nothing too deep. But there were a couple people in that class that I was not particularly fond of, and by the end of the week, I had gotten to know them and was like, okay,
That makes
there's no
sense.
reason to judge you now. I understand where you're coming from and stuff. And there was so that kind of helped me. Sometimes I can be really judgmental. And so being able to grow out of that in that class was I was like, okay, I'm happy with myself for doing that. And so being able to do that was
She developed her character.
That's
Yeah.
invaluable
Yeah.
because I mean, I can't tell you how many adults never go through an experience that teaches them that lesson. And instead, go along their lives. And they're the ones that don't get put forward when a promotion is available at work, and what have you, because um, they're busy finding the differences and getting upset about things in other people that they don't like. And instead of trying to understand they're human and maybe they, like, just like you didn't know what it was about those people you didn't like, but once you got to know them, understanding them made it a completely different experience.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, that's human existence. And once you learn that lesson, I think that it equips us to, even if you don't want to be a leader, it just makes you a better person and it makes
Definitely.
life a lot easier
Yeah.
going forward. So I love that you shared that. That's a really special one that you got right there. So
I really liked aquatics for my first year. I just like swimming. I think it was really fun. And it was at the very end of on Friday, for your final, you had to teach people how to do something. And that's kind of the first time I ever had to teach someone how to do something to a group.
mhm.
And so that really a big change, big perspective change. And just the first time I ever did that.
So can you articulate and define what you felt when you got to teach others? What were the feelings that you felt inside?
I was pretty scared. It was like 8 people, but I was still pretty scared. But it was people I knew, but I was not ready at all.
So you felt like you weren't ready, but you did it.
Mhm.
On the other side of doing it, what was your reflection back on it?
I really don't know why I was scared because I knew everybody that was there, and it was a dive. Like it was probably the easiest thing, and I don't know.
So
it was really-
moving forward, like what lesson did you take from that as far as like facing something that's scary, and where you're having to be in front of other people or teach? Are you more likely to do that again next time if you're called on?
I probably will because it kind of opened up like, what you think now is not what is really going to happen. Because I was really scared, but I did it really well. And after, I'm like, why was I scared? And it helped me like during school with like presentations and stuff. 'Cause I used to be really scared in presentations, but now I'm just not.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Okay, I want to ask you all because I know that this has to be the case. The funniest memory you have either from Blue Ridge or from Leaders Club in general.
I can't go first. I can't think of any.
I'm trying to think.
But I think she has a story.
I know somebody's got one. The giggles are.
So there's always been rumors like that in Eureka Hall, which is the girls' dorms, that on the 4th floor there's like ghosts or something. And
Is it just ghosts in general, or do they have names? And
Well,
No.
it's
It's
because
just
like the 4th floor, no one goes up there, so
It's like
because the roof
storage.
is like there's
it's
something.
blocked off.
Yeah,
There's
it's like
all
really
these
low.
strange
Roof is, like, really
noises
They're
low.
not
up
allowed
there.
to go up there, so like nobody can go up there.
okay,
And but it was like 11 o'clock at night, which is our curfew, so we have to go to bed at 11. And we were sitting in my room, and me and my roommate the past couple nights, like we are like, because we're first year girls, and normally they give the first year girls the bathrooms, so so it's just like one separate hallway with just first year girls, and all the people that were down the hallway were like complaining about noises up there at 1 a.m., like such loud noises. And so we kept waking up to them, and then it was like 11 o'clock, and we had to go get my advisor because we kept hearing noises, and they were so loud, we could not go to sleep. And so she
what do
brought-
the noises sound like?
They just sounded like they were dropping furniture up there.
Like
Oh.
studs.
Yeah, like
Someone told
it
her
was
that they were
not
moving furniture up there.
that's
She
what
was
it sounded
freaking
like.
out.
It was so scary.
She
And then-
called our mom. She was on the phone with our mom because she was so scared.
I mean, there's a difference between some creaks and furniture movement / dropping.
It was like
And
they
then-
took this table and just like dropped it on the ground
Yeah.
above us.
There's no way.
It was so loud.
And she made our advisor walk around the building, looking up at the 4th floor to
And then
see
the
if there
lights
was
were on
stuff
up
up
there.
there.
She didn't go to bed till like 3 in the morning.
Actually, it was like 1 in the
Your
morning.
our advisor,
Yeah, it was 1 in the morning.
she did not go to sleep.
And then
Well, I
she could've
probably
gone
would
up
have
there,
been
too.
scared too and done the same
Yeah, it
thing
was
if
so
I were
scary.
I
you.
slept in
So
the
wait, did
same
you see
room.
anything scared?
No.
Oh.
She just telling
That's
me
it,
it was a
too.
raccoon.
I would have been up there.
Raccoons.
Oh, the raccoon was moving all the furniture?
The fat
I don't
raccoon.
know. It just
They had the-
oh, and
yeah,
then
they've got the dexterity.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't just like moving furniture. We could hear footprints up there. Like we could hear like
Footprints?
footsteps. We could hear footsteps up there. It sounded like people were walking around and talking and all that. It was really
I
scary.
slept in the same room my first year, and I never had that problem. But a fire alarm did
I
go
have
off.
videos.
You never have it. No way.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm glad.
We cut them into the podcast. Settle this.
Yeah, yeah.
The audience decide.
I
Yeah.
love that idea. Well, that's pretty good. So we may or may not see this video evidence, depending on the editor's choice. What about you?
Okay, so my first year, we had a class called Feeling Great. And she was in my
about-
class. No,
Or is it okay?
about me. Okay, so
the,
yeah, I know. You should tell that one.
I will.
But there's a game, it's, when you put your head on the bat and you have to spin around.
Yeah.
And then you have to, it's like the
you have
relay
to
style,
run.
so you have to like run back and then.
Anyways, we had to spin
It's-
around 8 times, and I didn't even remember like falling over. I just like completely flat out face planted on the floor while trying to run. And it was like, the floor is like hollow, so it was really bad.
Like the floor's hollow, meaning you got like a wood reverberation on your face?
No,
or...
but it was like, it like echoed. It was loud.
Oh, bad as in embarrassing.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, did you get a nickname out of it? Or
No.
Okay.
Nope.
It was just funny
It's
for
just
me.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
I also have a very embarrassing story from feeling great. So,
Does it involve falling over?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But the opposite backwards.
Oh,
no.
So we were playing this game called Hungry. It's like life-size Hungry Hippos. So you're like on this like little square scooter, and it's on your chest, and then
the
someone's
laundry baskets?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then someone's
Yes.
holding, and I was holding someone's feet,
Funny.
and so I was backing up, and so I was like,
She went over me.
I went over. Oh wait,
It was
it
me.
was you. So basically, I didn't know she was on the ground behind me with her basket, and so I just am walking back, and then my foot catches on her scooter, and I just go backwards, and I just land right on my butt, and it is loud too because I remember I was talking to someone because arts and crafts is downstairs in that building, and they're like, I heard a really loud thud today. Do you know what happened? I was like, that was me.
Wait, was this
Fell.
by chance at 11 o'clock p.m. the same night of... I'm
No.
just kidding.
Sadly not.
No,
It was a year.
But
It
the
was a year
funniest
before.
part is that someone was in there taking videos that day and caught me falling and then showed it to the entire, there was like a
It's on the school
slideshow.
show. at
And
the end of
so
the year.
everyone saw it and I was,
Do you have a copy of the video?
I'm
Yeah, we
gonna
do. It's
find
on
it now.
YouTube.
We're
It's on
gonna
YouTube.
get it
Probably
in
find it.
there. We're gonna-
Okay. We need the link for
Yeah.
post-production.
It was-
Okay.
but then we do like a rally sort of. So it's like other clubs, we like meet up and like do a camp out sort of. And I told one of the advisors there, I was like, yeah, I like fell and they got on camera. And she's like, that was you? And I was like, you saw it? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, great. You just made my day. So it was funny. But at the time I was not very happy about it, but looking back, it's
Sure.
pretty funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
It's a good one.
I never fell, but I had a class. I had Lead 15, and like we had all my friends in there, and it was a fun class. We would like draw stuff. We had to make a fake vacation, and it was just like some random place. It was pretty funny. And then the lunch line, well, you wouldn't really think it's funny, but everyone has like a speaker, and like almost like everyone has a speaker, right? So everyone's playing a different song, and so you can just walk by and you'll get like snippets of each song.
Wait, people carry speakers playing
Yeah, they're
music?
little-
Yeah,
Little
there's little
speakers.
handheld Bluetooth
Yeah.
speakers.
Yeah, we walk around.
You carry them up the mountain and stuff, so they have
Just
music with
listen to
you.
music. Yeah.
Like, is that part of the bring with you when you come?
No,
like,
no,
and
we
start-
It's an
just for
unspoken
fun.
rule.
Usually
Yeah.
counselors have them because our counselor forgot hers, and so like 6 different people got connected to my little speaker. So I would turn it on in the morning, and like 2 people would connect, and I'd try to play something, and someone's like TikTok would come through it, and I'm like, what's going on? So that's always really fun. So then it was always really complicated trying to figure out who was connected to my speaker, and then like who had to like disconnect.
This sounds very disorienting walking through, because it's one thing like when you hear when you're listening to maybe a concert outside and you're like you're walking around the perimeter and you hear how like the tone or it sounds like the key change is
Yeah.
it's as you're moving.
As you go away, yeah.
I can only imagine when you've got like subsets of music that are just you're walking through the lunch hall. It's Nicki Minaj, followed by Billie Eilish, followed
Well, the
by...
lunch line, it's outside of the actual, so it's like outside in the woods, technically.
Because
And
we're
It's
waiting
like
in line
right
to
on
get
the
in.
road, so
Yeah.
everyone's
It's like
on the
on
sidewalk.
the sidewalk.
Yeah.
But that's usually once you get inside, they're like no more
Yeah,
more
no one's trying to
music.
walk against that.
Then we do chants.
It's sort of like a courtesy rule.
Okay,
It's a
so
thing.
what's your favorite chant?
Oh.
I
That's
actually
a
don't
good
remember
one.
any.
The-
I
The
like the
rubber
Pledge
duck
of
one.
Allegiance.
All right.
So-
What
duck.
one?
Oh, no, it was the national anthem. You just kind of stand
oh,
in
yeah.
rats.
The rats.
The rubber rat.
Oh
the-
my gosh,
Oh my
that
gosh, that's
was
There was a
so-
rat.
so- You go like,
Well, the national
The rats
anthem.
made me crazy.
They locked me
Crazy.
in a room.
I was
A
crazy
rubber room.
once.
Oh, yeah.
They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats.
And then it just
keeps
repeats
repeating
itself.
and
over and over
repeating.
until like someone's like, please stop.
Oh.
But while we were there was it ROTC or JR?
Oh my gosh, it was
Oh, yeah.
like an Air Force ROTC. They had shared the campus with us, so they got like one side of the cafeteria and we got the other.
But they would also wake up really early in the morning, like stomping around,
Like
chanting.
4 in.
And it was
and we're
just like,
sleeping.
yeah.
They had it rough. They
They
were
like stayed up till like 1 in
And
and woke up
the
at
bathroom
people
was on our side
crying.
of the cafeteria, so they would be like every time someone walked by, they'd just be like, and we were just
throwing
like,
up.
what
They would
is
just like
going
rant
on?
in the bathroom to somebody. If
Yeah.
you're just in there, they'll start ranting to you
They
about
tried
how
to have,
bad
like,
it was terrible.
competition with us with their chants. So they would
They
do like,
obviously won.
no, they
Yeah.
did not.
No, they didn't.
No,
They did
didn't.
not win.
We
No, they
won.
didn't.
No, because we did their chant and we
We
were
have the
like,
video from
1,000
that
times louder.
too.
louder.
With that.
Yeah, there was a couple times where they were like going through the lunch line after us, so we would sing the national anthem and they go USA, USA.
Yeah,
And
we'd
there was
stand up
one
and do the
time where
Pledge of
someone was
Allegiance.
like came through the line and like looked at us and was like they were just like so like touched that we were doing that. It was actually kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
'Cause
so
we-
question. You're saying that you did the national anthem chant. Are you just meaning that
You just sing the
sang?
national
We just
anthem.
sang the
Stand up,
national
hand over your heart,
anthem.
or like salute and sing
We
the
all
national
stood
anthem.
up and just sang it to
Yeah.
them.
and then there was one kid who would make the like
The fireworks
The
are like,
rocket sound.
shoo!
Yeah.
It was so
It was really good.
yeah, it was like it sounded like a firework. It was
And you like
loud.
hold like a picture of the American flag on your phone at the front.
We started the chant one
Nice.
time. We were
Yeah, we
pretty
did.
cool.
Okay, so the national anthem, the Rubber Rats, and
The
Oh,
I
we
love
got
you.
wait no.
The I love you one where
Yes,
you
we
like
do.
run.
We got
oh,
How
and then
You.
there's one where like someone would stand up and go, I love you, blah blah blah. So like I could be like, I love you, Kate, and then she would like
she'd have to
stand
go
up and be like,
back.
I love you, Frankie.
Yeah.
But then like
Yeah.
everyone would stand up and do
And
it.
do it to someone else. And then there was like
and so it would go on and on.
There's
it would not stop.
There's also a cheer, so we all have keys to our rooms.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
and it's like most of the girls stay in Eureka, and then there's Abbott Hall for the boys, and like different halls and stuff.
Abbott.
Wait, what are
I
the
don't
other
know.
halls?
Asheville.
Asheville and
Asheville.
Abbott. So they
Yeah.
all
And
get
then
their
there's
own
like
color.
BRC,
Yeah.
but they all have their own keys. So you stand up and
Yeah.
you start
and
like
you just start
ringing your
shaking
cheer
them
and,
like Eureka,
Eureka,
Eureka.
and it's whoever's loudest wins
Yeah.
technically.
Or like there's like this drink. I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah,
If
Crazy.
you win, is it just bragging rights or?
Yeah.
No,
It's just-
yeah, sort of,
Sort
but
of.
it's
Yeah.
not really.
You can
like
boo the
winning
other
There's
win.
person if
always
they
the
lose.
like senior leaders who have their like key card because they're staying in the BRC.
and we
so
all
they'll
boo
be like
them.
BRC right at the end, and we're like, no.
That's what ends it, sort of.
If
They have like
lose,
they
you
have like
boo.
a card. They don't.
Yeah,
It's
they
not
have,
like a
this-
key with like
Because
a
like the
keychain or
BRC,
anything.
they're like fancy
It's a
hotel
hotel.
rooms.
Uh-huh.
And all the other Eureka's like this
Ancient.
Rusty room.
ancient, rusty room. But
you
they're
just
nice
said
guys.
that like
With their like pipes hanging out. It's so funny.
One time the
she
fire
looks
alarm-
at me and goes, "It's a hotel."
It's so nice.
My
It's
life
so
is-
nice in those rooms.
My
It's
entire
actually
life
like a
just,
hotel.
fell.
I mean, part of camp though is
Yeah.
It's the room.
You know,
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
room, yeah.
But didn't the
It
alarm go
certainly
off?
has its vibes.
Yeah, the fire alarm
That
went
was
off
in
just randomly.
Asheville.
That was in Asheville. I wasn't woken up.
Someone
Yeah.
was like, there was a fire in Asheville. And keep in mind, we're next to Asheville, the city. And I was like, there was a fire in Asheville?
We didn't even
And they were
think
like,
about
yeah.
like the building.
And then they were like, there was a fire truck here. I'm like, why was there a fire truck here if there was a fire in Asheville? And like, the dorms. And I was like, I
And
knew
then a
that.
kid
I
never
was just
woke
making
up.
sure
They, like,
you
stayed
knew.
in there.
Because I got so
those dorms are very, very old and they're
Yeah,
all
old.
wood.
Yes.
So
Yes, and all week, like literally all week in my room, the fire alarm wasn't going off, but it was
the light was
beeping.
flashing.
So like we would wake up at like 5 a.m. and it would be like beep, 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 and you can't sleep because it's so loud.
Oh, so
it was-
between the midnight ghosts and the 5 a.m. fire
Yes.
alarm and the ROTC,
But she had a
It has
shower.
some things.
Oh yeah, I did have a
Ew.
shower in my room though.
Yeah.
So that was pretty.
Everyone
nice.
else has a communal bathroom.
We were
shower in my
smart though, because we didn't have a bathroom this year. Last year we did, but we would wake up early and shower, and there was no one in there.
Yeah, because
So-
everyone does it at night, and it's like there's like a line waiting for them. So we did it in the morning.
that's smart.
It was really nice having a bathroom.
I bet.
Yeah, I remember
sure
that
it was.
So you're prepared for next time you're not going to have one, right?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because they give the first year special treatment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
because they
sometimes-
want him to come back
Yeah,
next
that
year.
makes sense.
So
They
And
gave me
sometimes-
Asheville my first year, which is like the nice boys dorm.
It
So I'd come
is.
back. And this year I had
Yeah.
Abbott.
Yeah.
I bet it's stinky.
I bet it smells. It just
There's no
always
AC.
smells.
Lots of people have their windows open and like the white
My
fans.
window was locked. I was just hot the entire time.
And the boys.
It's not the best sales pitch.
Oh, I was
It's
like,
not, but I mean,
it's very fun.
But it's fun though.
it's a part of the experience.
part of
what's
It's
funny
like
though is that
life.
you just
I have my own
bond
bathroom.
over it.
Ghost.
I have my bathroom. I have my own bathroom though. So
Yeah.
And it's,
But I didn't
Wait, you
share
had a
it.
bathroom in your room?
Yeah.
Oh.
all the boys don't have their own bathroom.
what
I had a
about all the
fridge-
stories that
I had a
happen
mini
in the
fridge in
rooms?
Asheville.
Oh,
No, you
don't say
I
that.
did. I had a mini fridge. I put my Uncrustables in there. I thought it was in my fridge. This year, I brought Uncrustables. There was no fridge. So
They took out all the fridges
yeah,
from
they
the
took my
rooms.
fridges out.
It was because
Uh,
of COVID.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But-
So, despite being old, stinky, hot, smelly, crusty, whatever, all the other, it's still fun.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
best thing ever. It's
All
like,
of that makes it fun.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
what
laughs
makes
from her ghost story.
Mhm.
that's
Priceless.
literally how you bond. Like there were these girls jumping on our floor because we were on the second floor and we were like hitting water bottles on the ceiling to get them to stop. It's what makes it fun because you're bonding over it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's not like annoying. It's
I wouldn't
funny.
have it any other way
Yeah.
because it wouldn't be fun if it was a hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've just-
Our first year, so we went to another camp the week before, and we were in the same room. And then we drove to North Carolina together, and then we were in the same room the whole week. So basically, we shared a room for 2 weeks.
yeah.
And by the end of the time, we were like at each other's necks. It was
wasn't-
like,
But it was also the first year we didn't have a mini fridge, but we did have fresh fruits and vegetables. And
no.
I didn't know how to take the trash out. I know where the trash can was to put out trash. So there was just rotting fruit in our room. And then I opened the window
and it made
to
our
like
room like moist. It was like
because
wet.
it was raining all week. So that was fun. We did not spend a lot of time in our
Bring
room. And then our bed broke too.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
see any bears?
No, we
There's a
didn't
bear.
see
I didn't
bears.
see
Yeah.
There
Like
was like
inside
a
the
bunch
bus.
of them.
And so somebody's
Wait,
bus.
what?
There was a bear last year that went in somebody's bus.
What?
Or like the
Yeah.
compartment like where the luggage goes.
I didn't
Went in
know
there.
about
It was
that.
like tearing at the luggage.
Oh.
Wait,
It
that's
was-
crazy.
There's a lot of bear sightings, but it's just we're never there for them.
Yeah,
it's like people
no,
just
those
tell
were
us
the
Story
I was-
of my life. I've been to Black Mountain so many times.
Yes.
I've been to Gatlinburg more times than I can count, probably 30. Like I want to
No
see a bear
bears.
so bad in a non-zoo environment. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go to Gatlinburg, and the next week I see a viral video of a bear walking through the center of town, like right after
Yeah.
we left.
I have a video of bear cubs that her mom took driving back down the mountain after dropping us off. It's 2
Oh.
bear cubs and a mom.
How
They're just hanging
cute.
out on the side of the road.
It was really cute.
Yeah.
Did not see any bears.
Greg
Okay.
loves
That's the only
bears.
encounter.
I saw bears like one time when I was little. They were playing on the playground. Like they were all over the playground, like playing it.
The playground at Blue Ridge?
Yeah.
Like the little one on the side on the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
down.
yeah.
I forgot
they
that
were
they
in
had
it.
a
It
playground.
was
Tennis courts.
cubs. They were just playing on the playground.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a long time ago though.
We've talked about a lot of stuff today.
There's a lot more.
There's
Go
a
on
lot
and on
more.
about
It's
this.
never ending.
Well,
fun.
but we have an ending, so I wanna try and encapsulate as much as we can that's special from that y'all want to bring into this. I've asked all my questions that I could think of, but is there anything that I haven't asked that y'all would want to share about your experience?
Well, no. I mean, when I started in Maryland, like I said, and then I had to move to find these people. And I was kind of going through a hard time, but I guess they really picked me up and helped me out. And I've never been so grateful for them. It's like the best thing ever. It's like a tiny little family. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know why I'm looking at you. My fault.
What would you?
That's all of you would be able to see.
We'll look at it.
It's like everyone can just see it.
Yeah.
What would you say to other kids that might be thinking of joining Leaders Club or have never heard about it until now? And
It's not some boring camp where you, or
Club.
it's not some boring place where you just go sit and talk about volunteering and just you like actually involved and you're actually like even though we're all kind of separated in age, but only by like a couple years, but it doesn't like affect our relationships like I thought it would. Like when I was first joining, I was really scared because they're sophomores, you're a junior.
We're all
Oh, they're
juniors.
juniors.
sophomores.
He's a
I'm a
sophomore
sophomore.
and I'm a freshman. And so like I was scared that it was gonna be hard to bond with people who are older than me. But it doesn't really affect our relationships. I feel like it's just like I feel like it grows our relationships in some way because like they can relate to each other and they can like we can just have those conversations that are like, this is what it's gonna be like when you're older, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I really like that you brought that up because from my experience as well, the difference between the connection of the group and Leaders Club versus, again, everywhere else, school, all the other social environments you're involved in, it's so much more of a, not that it doesn't matter, but like you're able to see the strengths and pull from them that they're older than you, and y'all are also, you know, find the value in the freshmen, and right, like the divide isn't there that's there at school that keeps people separated.
Yeah.
Socially, age, stigma, whatever, you know.
Like these are people I wouldn't talk to at school. Like, no offense.
Yeah, I
Like
never
we
talked
talked
to you
about the
at school.
sport. I would have never approached these guys if had I been in school or in a sport. But we were not that we were forced to, but we just kind of came together and
We
I
didn't have an option to not.
yeah.
It would have just been pointless to like not get along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that we are closer and we're not alike at all because we bounce off of each other. It's so nice.
Well, again, and I'll say Leaders was the first environment that I think really prepared me for, again, the rest of life, because life is not high school.
Mm-mm.
It's not
Thank you.
staying with all the people that are your same age, that like the same things you
Yeah.
do, that whatever. It's doing what you guys just described.
Yeah.
It's embracing the differences and, you know, learning how to live with one another, respect each
Different
other.
strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
That's great. What would you say to somebody who is like, because I think that it's easy to, as somebody y'all's age, when I think back to when I was this age, that, you know, hear this and be like,
That sounds stupid.
that doesn't sound cool.
Leaders Club.
Like that
Yeah.
sounds like a club for nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What would you
Don't
say to
diss
that?
it before you try it, you know? Like you
Yes.
can like come and be like, okay, this isn't my thing. But like
In order
there
to
is no way to describe the experiences we've had besides like
It's
having it
fun.
yourself, you know? Because the experiences vary from person to person as you've gathered, but we all like have like kind of the same like takeaways from it, like how it's like shaped us as like people. And so I think it's just, you know,
You just gotta do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
just do it.
You have to like show up to a couple meetings.
We also do social events
Yes.
every
We're
month.
fun. We're not,
Every
we're
month
not like
we
weird
go-
nerds.
We went
We're
to a
not
haunted
dorks.
house last October.
Okay, that was
Oh yeah,
was
let's talk
so
about,
fun.
okay, we talked about Blue Ridge and we talked about volunteering. Let's talk about your favorite. Everybody tell me your favorite, no repeats, your favorite thing you've done this past year in Leaders Club.
I liked when we went to the trampoline park together. We all
Oh
decided
my
to go to
gosh,
the
that
trampoline
was
park.
so
He lost
was-
his
And he
phone.
lost his
That was
phone.
so
Like,
good. I lost
foam
my
pits.
phone.
yes.
But you
I-
still had fun.
Yes.
Yeah, I have it.
He
I
found
found
it.
I found
Oh,
it.
okay.
I cleared a whole
Foam pit?
section foam pit out just to find it.
But we were
Wow.
doing like parkour off the walls and stuff. It was really fun.
I did a backflip for
Yeah.
the first
Almost
time.
broke my
He
neck.
taught me how to do a backflip. It was really nice.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I haven't. Okay, so I don't really know about.
Say it.
I don't know about any social events because like all of them have been fun. But I'm gonna talk about like we had the Christmas.
Bazaar.
No.
Yeah, the
Christmas
Christmas bazaar.
It's like a fundraising thing. So
Yeah.
like we have vendors
lot of
come
vendors.
and like
Sell
sell
it.
stuff, and so they would like pay us to have like a spot to do
Yeah,
that.
and that's how we
but then they
raised
like,
money.
and then we would also make stuff. to
Yeah.
Like
But,
cookies and granola.
Before December of last year, I was not a part of Leaders Club,
Mhm.
and the Christmas bazaar is when I decided to like actually join. I was just going to the month of
Meetings.
not the meeting. I wasn't going to the meetings. I was just going to like the haunted houses and stuff with them because it would have been fun, and I was with people. But that's where I decided because that's when I started to like actually bond with the group, and I actually got to know them outside of having fun. Like I got to know them in a way of like we're working together. Like
Professional.
we're exactly.
Yeah. Awesome. What about you?
Okay, so I have to say the only thing I can think of right now is the haunted house.
All right.
Sorry if it took years, but
Did you go to a haunted house or did
It
y'all?
was
It was
the
the
did y'all-
haunted trail.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It's
like
Miller-
the
it's
haunted
Miller's
woods, Miller's
Thrillers.
Thrillers.
It was.
Oh, it's
if you
a
ever
good
been there?
one.
It's so
And-
much fun.
I have to say that we were walking and
My dad was there. He was like right in the back, and so everyone was like,
We
It
were
was
in the
funny.
front.
yeah, we were in the
Yeah,
front, and it was like
so
it was
fun.
And she
really
kept
scary.
pushing
was holding on
Hey,
to
you're
it.
holding my
But-
sweatshirt.
At some point, some guy like asked my name, and I gave him my name. It was one of the the actors
yeah?
that's in the trail, and he started chasing me, screaming my name, like with his
so
axe or something.
Was this your first haunted house?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was very scary.
Will you ever give someone in a haunted house your name again?
I'll give it to him.
I feel like
Oh wait, actually,
I
I
gave
don't
it- we
even
gave it
think
to
I
him.
gave them my name.
Thomas and I
I think
told
Thomas
him.
gave him my
We were
name.
like-
Yeah.
Y'all threw her under the
He
bus?
asked me what her name was. I was like, okay.
I think I said no. I don't want to tell you, and they told him. But I think we're going there again this year.
We have
because
to.
it was
It's
really
fun.
fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a great one. I've been there a couple times.
I can't. I didn't
I
ice
won.
skate.
Yes,
Yeah.
you kind of did.
I need one.
We
I got
taught
pushed
her.
around.
We
in
taught
like the
her how to
little-
ice skate.
Yeah, I just
Sometimes
did
you just
not.
hang out, even when it's not a social
Yeah.
event.
Yeah, that's
We literally just
Yeah.
hang out.
there was. I think you were there though. We went to one of the like board meetings.
Yeah.
You were also there. That's where we met you. Um, but
You're in the
we
background.
all like slept over at her house so we could all like wake up together because
that
they live
was
far
fun.
away. And so we watched a horror movie
Bro, it's so scary.
The
and
visit.
it was
The night before or the night of?
The night
night
before.
Okay.
and so but like we all like watched it and then fell asleep and then we all like were trying to wake each other up because we're like, oh, we need to go, but we were all like, ugh, like disoriented and like
We did
really
not want to get
tired.
up.
But we did it. But that was very fun.
What horror movie was it?
The visit.
It's like old people that get out of a psych ward and are.
And they
Oh,
like,
I've seen it.
Oh yeah, like
It's
the
so
old women.
scary.
old
Horror
women
movies
just,
are my
like-
genre. So,
so
yeah.
bad.
He
knew everything about it, and he was like,
I
"Oh no,
already
this is the
watched it.
scary part."
He kept spoiling.
Yeah,
I
he was
wouldn't
like, oh
say-
yeah, this
they
is
wouldn't
coming up.
spoil
He was
all
like,
the scary
prepare
parts.
yourself. It's
I
about
was-
to get
no.
scary. And we're like,
Like
okay.
the woman just popped up on the screen one time in front of like a hidden camera or something. And
He was
I,
like, he was like,
jumped.
he was
all of
like,
us.
he was like, I know what's about to happen. I know what's about to happen. And he was like, ruin the jump scare and be like,
we were just over here like just talking. I know what's about to happen, and we were over here just like this. It's just-
Oh my gosh.
He was in a basement too.
yeah, we were in a dark basement.
That sounds pretty spooky. Okay, what about you?
Well, I guess the only one that's left is the ice skating.
Yeah.
We also
Not
went
with
roller
left.
skating.
We went
We were
roller
roller
skating.
skating.
You
and
liked
bowling.
that.
oh, yeah.
Oh, bowling was you.
Bowling
That was
the
our
first
first one.
Oh,
we
he's
didn't
on the bowling team.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, he's a
I'm
pro
a D2
bowling.
bowler.
Wow.
D2.
D2.
Oh, not D1.
Mm-mm.
No.
Not
No,
the one.
They're like way too good. But I like the ice skating. It was pretty fun. I been ice skating one other time than that. Before that,
You did pretty good for your second time.
Did you fall?
yes.
How many times?
Like one time when I just got on the ice.
I did not fall once.
And they had like the little
Really
like carts
Yeah.
you could ride
The
on.
push carts.
And you could go really fast. You could lean on it. So I could really, really
Yeah,
fast
we all
on that.
took turns like pushing each other on them, and we were going really fast.
I just
And
like
the rink was like
It was
really small.
small.
It was really small. It was like a
yeah,
Where
half
did
a
you go?
basketball.
it was.
court.
It was in
one in
Murfreesboro. That's where we
Oh,
live. So
okay.
yeah. Oh, we went to an escape room one time too.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
That
yeah.
was fun.
my
I hurt
brother.
my knee
My
on
brother
that.
works in an escape room, so he like set one up
we
for
had to
us.
sort through a bucket of plastic poop.
Yeah,
It was disgusting.
it wasn't.
It was
real.
just like
It was
hard.
plastic.
It was
poop.
plastic.
Okay.
It was not
Like,
real.
the
It was
thought of
not
it
real.
is nasty.
Maybe it was cold, but it kind of looked like turds.
It was no, because it was in a toilet. It was in
Oh,
an
yeah,
outhouse
so
in
it
a
was
jail.
poop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a. I forgot what it was called. It was like a jail
They,
one.
I tell you what, they keep getting more and more creative with the
Escape
we
rooms,
escape
yeah.
rooms. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nasty.
I don't know if I mean
And at the bottom
guess
of me
that's
to
great.
translate something. It was gross.
Fun.
Hey, at least it was plastic.
Thank God.
That would
yes.
have been a little too authentic if it was real.
They're getting
Well,
realer and realer.
Transitioning to our close. What final thoughts would y'all like to share with our audience about, we've already talked about any other teens that might be on the edge of thinking that they might try it or thinking, oh, I don't know, that doesn't sound cool enough. But, what parting words would you like to leave your stamp on this episode with?
Well, we're trying to grow a club, so we want you and anybody can join Leaders Club because it's so fun. So please,
There is a
Where
age.
and when are the meetings right now?
Oh, there's age.
Mondays, 4:30
Mondays,
at the Green Hills YMCA.
4:30 at the Green
in
Hills
Green-
YMCA.
Green
And it's
Hills.
ages 12 through 18.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, I was gonna say the age, but you just
Do they just need to show up?
They just need to show up.
Yeah, we're having an interest meeting on August
August
26th
Yes.
at 5:30. So if you're interested.
That needs to be like plastered, like a big words.
Yeah.
The front of the podcast, so we can get.
Awesome.
Bring your friends too. Bring lots of friends.
It's better with friends.
Yeah.
Because you already know people that are there.
Yeah.
We also wanted to say thank you to Scott for his generous donation.
you
We
so
really
much.
appreciated that.
Yeah.
It was
Without you, we would have not gone to Blue Ridge. So thank you.
Yeah.
It was a big help.
Yes. And thank you for having us on the podcast
Yeah.
so much.
too.
It was a blessing. We love
Yeah.
This
talking
was
about
fun,
Leaders
yeah.
Club.
It actually was.
Yeah.
But it's just like going over all our
Yeah.
it was
experiences.
I was a little nervous.
bringing
at
back
first.
memories.
Yeah, first it was kind of awkward at first.
All right. Any final thoughts? Any other final thoughts?
Just join, just do it.
You'll
Just-
have
I mean,
fun.
You'll have fun.
You'll either get haunted, have to sift through plastic poop, have
Something will
rotten
happen to you
fruits
that
You'll-
in
You're
a
gonna
make your life.
hot
Yeah,
room.
if you just join, if you just do it,
All bad
you'll have
stuff.
fun.
It is so
Just-
much
just
fun.
try
It
it.
is so
It
much
may
fun.
sound like bad stuff,
Yeah, it
but
sounds-
it was a good memory.
You will
Obviously.
definitely have stories to tell your grandkids.
Yeah, it's for the
Yeah.
Lord.
very
Love it.
briefly, but we did.
All right. I guess with that, is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That is what we say. That is a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
All right, to all of those of you who have stuck through the episode till this point, thank you for sticking around. We're glad that you're here. And
Thank you.
that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Don't forget to subscribe,
Hit that follow button.
hit
And
that
like.
follow button, and like button, and share
All the buttons.
all the things.
If you do it with your nose, that's
Hit it with your
really good too.
elbow.
Yeah, hit it with your elbow.
And we're out.